Here we go. Welcome back to the Everybody But Me show. I am here with the people I love the most, and now Jason.
Yeah. Everyone I love in this fucking club.
I love you, Jason.
Can I swear on this or
Yeah,
no?
you can cuss all you
All
want.
right, just making
You
sure.
let the whole Yankee out of you.
That's the more I drink, the more I swear. It's beautiful.
The more I drink, the more I drink, the more I drink.
The more I drink.
So welcome back to the Everybody But Me show. This is where we explore singledom and why the heck I'm still here and whoever else is still single. It's okay, y'all. We're going to figure this thing out together. We got Phil to my right, Katie to my right. We got Dominic to my left. And we got our special guest, Jason Tartick. And he is our first guest on the show. So, brother, thank you so much for coming back into town and joining us.
Oh, it is so good to be here.
It is an honor to have you on. It was an honor to come on your podcast, Trading Secrets, and now to have you on mine, the Everybody Me show, is so cool. And let's get this thing going. So today we're talking about work-life balance and relationships, commitment, cheating, all those things. And let's get right to the nitty-gritty. Katie, you know how to start this thing off.
Let's hit it.
Let's hit it.
Hard-hitting question. Have you ever cheated?
Have you ever cheated? So what we do, Jay, is we go to a song.
Okay. Oh, I like this song.
And I forgot to add all the songs, guys, so bear with me.
We are live now.
So no,
We
she
are
can't
back.
love you.
Oh, nope. We are live now.
Now. Boom. Let's go.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
I love
welcome
that
back.
song. Me too. Song hits.
All right. Katie, bring us back.
So I asked before that epic song, have you ever cheated? And I'll even open it up to say, have you ever been cheated on as well?
Jason, you're our first guest, so it's a hard-hitting question for you too.
Yeah.
But I'll lead it off, and then you can go. You can follow if you want, or you can
Sure.
take the lead.
I know you hit it off your show.
So,
I'll go next.
have I ever cheated? No. That is my cardinal sin. That's like the biggest thing for me is like cheating. So I've never done it. But I will say like I have flirted like with it. You know what I mean? So like it depends on what do you define cheating as? I guess we should say.
Like now, as a 28-year-old, I think I define it differently than when I was younger.
Couldn't agree more.
But I just think if you are doing absolutely anything that you wouldn't want your significant other to see, it's cheating. If you're flirting with somebody at the bar and you wouldn't have done it in front of your girlfriend, it's cheating.
Yep.
If you're texting behind her back, cheating. DMing.
Have an office crush, cheating.
Whoa.
Oh.
What? All right. So on those terms,
And just like that, we have a different answer.
so a very young, immature Tyler would say that cheating is just when you kiss or
Physical.
physically make that move on somebody. But I think as I've grown older and experienced things and experienced it to myself, cheating is those things that you said.
Mm-hmm.
And so, my first relationship, I was like texting and flirting and like messing around. Like, girl was sending me photos and we would just encourage it. I would just encourage it. And it was just because it was something to do and it was fun. It was boredom because we were in a distance relationship. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It was like something to keep me entertained. I wanted nothing to really do with her, but it was just like, it was something to do when there was nothing to do, And now as I've grown older and like looked at it back, like if someone did that to me that I was dating, I'd be hurt. And so I learned like that is cheating.
Yeah.
And I did fuck up, and and the way it hurt her, like, I never want to do to anyone else again, So like I don't even play that game anymore. But so in my past,
You dabbled.
I dabbled. Jay?
It's funny. Tyler and I should have had the mics on last night because we went out to dinner and you would have think we like ordered a couple drinks and just watched Monday Night Football and it was right in front of our face. We ordered water and like we got into the weeds on life. We were talking about, he hit me with this question too. He's like, what's your legacy? And like, what do you want it to be? Like deep stuff. And the whole conversation of being committed came up. And I can tell you exactly what he just said is exactly what he said at dinner with no mics and not one person around. Like cheating, it's just like, it's just, there's just no need for it. There's no need for it. And if you are in that position where you're cheating, it's a huge self-reflection on you as an individual because there's so many things that would lead up until you made that decision to cheat that you could have addressed, that you could have communicated, that you could have done within yourself. You could have ended the relationship. Like there's just no need for it. And there's recently someone in my circle, I don't want to call them out, but they were telling me about a situation where a married couple with kids and the husband, the wife, no, it's worse. The daughter saw pictures being sent
Oh no.
to her father.
Oh boy.
And the father, and so the daughter went to the mom and told, and the father was, oh, it was just pictures. There was nothing else. There's nothing happened. And my response to her, because I don't want to put like a degree or a level on cheating, right? Because all cheating is wrong. But my instant response, just like off the top of my head, I'm like, honestly, like I feel that that's almost worse than if he said, I had a one night fuck. Like both are wrong, but I had a one night completely made a bad decision. I don't know. It was a transactional thing. I don't support either of them. But you're having lengthy text messages for long periods of time. Like every text you send, every photo that's sent there, that goes into the category of cheating. And that's not once, that's repetitive. So I thought his defense was bullshit, and that's what I said to the person who reached out to me. But back to the question, I have never cheated, but I have been cheated on. And in that book, in the last chapter, I talk a little bit about, I was 4 years, totally caught off guard. And like, I put the person I was with on such this crazy pedestal of like everything. I was always trying to live up to her standard, right? Of like what is acceptable in her family standard. And then to see how it was reversed, I was just like, wait a second. I feel like this whole relationship I have been chasing to meet the expectations of like what you guys deem is top line character and class, and I have the right, like I can be with your daughter and her brothers. I could be with your sister. I was always proving myself. And then to see the roles reversed, it was such an eye opener to me. But I'll end with this and then we can keep it going. I think in the whole classification of like cheating, there has to be ownership taken on both sides. Because if she was in the position where she was cheating, there's clearly something I wasn't doing enough of. And I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking probably attention, probably maybe not addressing certain issues. Maybe we should have had the tougher conversations earlier. Like, you know, there's a lot of things, and I think ownership is the only way to like really address it all.
My biggest thing about cheating is when you're in a relationship with somebody, that's your best friend.
Right.
You know, and I look at Katie, I look at Phil, I look at Dominique, I look at you, even you, Jay. Like, that's, like y'all are my people, so I would never do wrong by you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, why does it make it okay to do wrong by your girl or by like the person you're dating? You know, like I struggle with. I don't understand that. Like if I'm with you, I'm 100% with you now. Like that's like that's something I grew out like from that first relationship. I was like, once I saw how hurt and distraught she was, like it broke my heart. I was like, can I get closure? Can we have like breakfast? Can we talk? And I saw her and she was broken. I was like, I'll never do that to anybody ever again.
Yeah.
Because if that's my best friend, they don't ever deserve that. Like I would never do anything to do you wrong because y'all are my people.
Right.
You know? And so that was, to see someone hurt and beat up like that, like it crushed me. And I was like, I'll never be that person ever again. But I've had it happen to me since, and that shit hurts.
Yeah.
Burns.
I'll die on this sword. I would rather be cheated on any day than cheat on somebody
100%. Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
because like that guilt and that like I would just feel disgusted with
Yeah.
myself.
Well, there's just so much you can control, and it's like if you are cheating on someone,
That's not your
You're
person
letting you-
I
anyway.
was just gonna say that.
but you're letting
Okay.
like all of like your devils, everything take over. You can control to not do that. You have to. We
Absolutely.
make conscious decisions.
So
It's like,
so I'll say like for my relationship, where it stemmed from was attention, right? And we were together 24/7, right? Because it was COVID times. There was nowhere else to be but to be together, right? And then the world started to open up, and work started opening up, and things started to happen.
Right.
And I had to work. I had like my schedule got busy. Hers wasn't as much as busy. So I was like, just come with me, you know? But when I'm working, I'm thinking, I'm going like, Katie, you even see it. Like she tries to talk to me sometimes. It's in one ear, not the other, because I'm working on 3 different things,
Yeah.
you know?
Juggling.
And so sometimes she felt like that. And we struggled. And, ooh, this is her. I'm just kidding.
I'm like, what is that?
The ghost up in this shit.
I'm like,
But then it came out she was talking to somebody else, and then I just because she started accusing me of everything. Like a random text came out on my phone congratulating me about my book. I don't know the number, but there's 1,000 texts coming in about my book because it just got released, and a random number I don't have is like, congrats on the book, blah blah blah, and that she stormed out of the restaurant, and so I was like, I ain't doing nothing wrong. You know what I mean? Someone just congratulated me for my book. And so what happens was she had a guilty conscience because she was projecting on me because she was doing it to me.
Yeah.
And then we broke up. And then a week later, she was with the person.
That's literally the same thing.
Yep.
It was a week later, they're starting dating.
Yep.
I got a question. Let's throw around in the cheating game. If someone cheated on you or vice versa, could you make amends? Could you get back with the person?
I think I can speak on this because I was cheated on multiple times by the same person. And I think that because I was young, I just kept trying to give them a second chance. But the truth was I never got over it. So it was like there was never trust there. So I'm guilty as well because I feel like by taking him back, that's me saying like, I forgive you, right? Mm-hmm. But the truth was I hadn't. So every move he made, I was asking questions on his moves because I was like, oh, he's just cheating on me again.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so like at that point, then our relationship just got toxic. We weren't independent and I never fully got over it. So like to me, I don't think so. I think once that trust is broken, it'll always be in the back of your mind no matter what you try to tell yourself.
Yeah.
My question is, what happens when you have kids in the situation?
Oof.
And you got kids there, and you try to work through that because you want those kids to have a household that's full, mom and dad.
But is the household happy?
I was going to say no.
Right.
I would say no to that, Ty, because especially if you have kids involved, what are you showing your kids? It's okay to be cheated on?
Yep.
Yeah.
When they get older?
Absolutely.
No. I would say no to that.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think if you are getting cheated on, it is a complete break of trust. It's like stealing from me. If you're a business partner, if you are a partner, once that trust is gone,
It's gone.
I'm not gonna like disrespect you for life. But you can't be my teammate, right?
Right.
I can't come back from
Yep.
that. We can't be teammates.
So it is a deal breaker for all of us.
For me, it's a deal.
Huge.
It's a deal breaker.
Deal breaker.
Yeah, I think so.
Deal breaker.
What about signs of cheating? Like projection, I think is one of them. The phone flipped over on its face.
Hiding the
Oh,
phone
yeah.
for
Hiding
sure.
the phone.
I think
Yeah.
the lack of communication even.
Yeah.
Like they get more distant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your habits, your routines, you typically do something weekly and that starts to fade. Like why?
Yeah, when the consistency goes and things aren't making sense, and you start asking yourself what's happening,
Right.
that's what happened.
I also feel like it's very common sense, trusting your gut. I think as humans, we all feel something, but you don't want to believe it. Like this person I love so much is acting differently. Like, why do I feel this way? It could be leading to this, So
But that can also be signs of you've been cheated on before, and then you're looking at the person you're with now and like, are they doing what that person did to me before?
true.
But
Maybe you didn't close that door yet.
that's what I was just going to say. Like, I
You know?
always say, I don't agree. I know some people are like, oh, you have to take other people's wounds for what they are in your new relationship. And as somebody that's been cheated on, I disagree. I think it's completely not fair to my new
I totally agree with you.
boyfriend to put any of my past issues into him and question him in any way because he's never given me a reason to.
Right.
But I think it's really, really important that he understands that, right? Like that he understands like that's your past and there might be things that trigger you in a certain way and then you react in a certain way that he can't make logical sense to, but he now knows you better as a person. It doesn't mean you're taking your past wounds and bringing them forward. It means you're taking your past wounds and just explaining what happened and what defines you as a person. Because that stuff we're talking about it now, it never just is erased. We don't have the Men in Black pen. It just doesn't go away.
Right.
It
Yeah.
still lives in you to some capacity, right?
And as long as
Very
you're,
true.
I guess, communicating it
Sure.
and not just being like passive aggressive because something's coming up,
Yeah, just don't take your anger out on your person.
Let them know
you're
where it's coming from.
That's correct.
I think
Yeah.
it's all about delivery, right? Some people will feel that trigger and then bring in a crazy sense of emotion or some type of like arrogance or freaking out. But if you just said, hey, this is what's happened to me before. I think this is why I'm reacting to it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me out and can we talk through it? It's just delivery, I think.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Why do people cheat?
Like what leads to cheating, you think?
Yeah. I think my number one thing is attention. Because I think when I got busy with work, my girl, she left. You know what I mean? Like she started talking and searching elsewhere.
So she wasn't getting enough
because
attention.
I wasn't giving her the attention she needed, you know? And like I couldn't wait to come back home to her. Couldn't wait, you know? And so the attention from, you know, was lacking and it didn't work, you know, and she went out elsewhere to source it, you know, and I think that the attention is number one for me. Anyone else?
I said it. I was saying it earlier, but I'm going to go with being selfish. If you cheat, and I've been selfish in my lifetime, you know, so I'm going to say it's being selfish. Maybe you just want to eat your
Have
cake.
your cake and eat
Thank
it
you,
too.
thank you, like thank you. But that's bottom line. What some people do it for, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Another one I just thought of. This is kind of a bizarre and off the wall one, but I've heard this before. Like guys think of their wives as like this prim and proper, perfect person they don't want to do
Yeah.
crazy or freaky things with,
Right.
right? Because they don't want to look at her that way.
Mm-hmm.
So they source it elsewhere. So they have these fetishes that they want to source elsewhere. And they do these crazy things, or they find someone to do these crazy things with,
Right.
because they don't want to do that and look at their woman, their wife like that.
Lady in the street,
Yeah.
I think I have another
freak in
one.
the sheets.
Yes,
That's what he's talking about.
yes, but it's okay. But they love their wife, but they're trying to like almost it's like a weird thing. Like they're trying to protect their wife in a way.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
like I don't want to do these crazy nasty things that I love doing.
Right.
You know, I don't want to put her in those predicaments
Some
of the
50
situation.
Shades of Grey stuff.
Yeah, like I don't want to put her through this, but I want to go do it elsewhere because I want to like it's weird. It's really I've read about it. I've learned about
That's
it.
their own insecurities.
Yeah.
But it goes back to selfishness. Like once you commit to a relationship, it's no longer about these fucking, you know, I'm like these desires you have. It's about you and your partner, and that's what makes relationship beautiful.
Right.
I said this to you last night. We were talking about it. It was like monogamy. I don't think is natural, but I think what makes a relationship special is being able to respect one another and stay true to each other. You know, we're always going to be tempted. We're always going to see and look and feel. Not feel. We don't want to feel. We're always gonna,
Leave the feel out.
No touching. No
we're
touching.
always going to see and look. You know, but at the end of the day, like you got to come home to your wife. You got to come home to your husband because that's your person. That's your commitment. That's what you made it for. You know.
Yep.
And so you know, yeah.
But I think people cheat for a lot of reasons, though. I think it's like
Give me some.
insecurity. I think it's anger. I think it's
Yep.
frustration. I think it's some people just they're not like the alpha in their relationship, and they just like want some form of love. It has nothing to do with sex. It's just the desire to be wanted. I think like actually the transaction of sex is on the lower list of why people cheat.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think there's so many things, whether, you know, this is like all things, whether it's work, friendships, it's relationships, there's so much that are like subconscious tells us. And just as humans, we're like built to ignore. Compartmentalize, ignore, got to check the box today.
Yep.
Got to take care of this, got to take care of this. And we don't address it. And there's so many things that you could do proactively before that execution of like feeding those issues has to occur.
Right.
I think cheating can also be learned, going back to like, what if you're married with kids? Like those kids watching their parents cheat on each other, that is now a learned behavior of like, this is a normal relationship.
You said something last night when we were talking, like you want your kids to learn consequences for their actions, responsibility. Like that's like part of your legacy you want to leave, and like that's part of like what we're talking about is like there's consequences for your actions, and as an adult, you have to lead the way.
Yep.
And if you were to cheat, there is consequences for your actions, and your kids, if you fuck up, your kids are gonna start fucking up. You know?
Yeah.
I think that when you said that last night, that resonated with me. 'Cause
It's just the accountability. It's
Yeah.
like it doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Because everyone is like, I don't know, everyone's the victim, point the finger.
Right.
And actually, you told me this was right when your book was coming out, and it never went away from me. Everyone in this world, and I agree with it, is finger pointing, and no one is doing thumb pointing.
Yeah.
No one is saying, what do I need to work on? And that's the issue. And then the thing too, I think, is if people are gossiping to you, and I'll stand by this till I die. If people are gossiping to you about other people, I fucking promise you,
They're talking about you behind your back.
gossiping about you.
Absolutely.
Amen.
And take things with context.
Amen.
Think through. That's the one thing I've learned from TV is like think through things before they're told to you. Don't just nod your head and agree to your friend.
Right.
Yeah, that guy does suck. Oh yeah, Tyler Cameron's just a good-looking playboy. No, think through it. There's stories. There's depth. There's more to it.
Yep.
There's reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Everyone-
think like listening to is we always talk about that on the podcast, like listening, right? And it's similar to Tyler about like attention, but really I think it's making someone feel unheard. I think that's why people cheat. And I feel like you hear about it in the workplace, or like someone's like, when they finally have that conversation with their significant other, it's like, well, you didn't make me feel seen, feel heard. Like this person did. They made me feel alive. They connected with me. And I think it's back to what Jay said, taking accountability. Any cheating is wrong, but like, why did it get to this point? I think is so important too.
What are you laughing at?
Sorry, we're not laughing at you, Dom.
I'm like,
I do.
what did I say?
Dom.
So-
I think Tyler saw an ex-girlfriend outside.
And there it is, Jason, the Playboy without his shirt on.
But like you talked about Playboy,
Yeah.
and I always get accused of being this fuck boy or this frat boy or these Playboys, like you know what I mean. And it's because they see me out, like they see me dating, around all that. And at the end of the day, I want to be where all of you are sitting right now. I want to be dating somebody, like happy to go. Like all y'all are gonna leave here and go home and see somebody. Like that's where I want to be. Like that's what I want to do. It's just I struggle with a lot of things. I struggle with cheating. I struggle like not me, but me, the fear of being cheated on. I struggle with insecurities in that, not being enough for that person. Like like I struggle because I'm dependent. I want to be with you all the time because I'm fearful because my last relationships, when I'm away, that's when shit happens. That's when arguments happen. Like I can't be.
You're human, brother. You're human.
Like Phil, you've seen
Yeah.
you seen me in my past relationships. Like when I'm away from my old relationship, and then something comes up and I'm torn
Yeah.
and I'm sick. And you've all seen it,
Yeah.
And so like why they don't work out? There's a whole long list, and there's things I have to work through and deal through and go through, and then there's also things that like I've seen and felt and heard. It makes me scared, So, but I want to be where every one of y'all are sitting.
But I think it also goes back to like, again, with cheating too, it's like finding that like work-life relationship balance. It's like, how do you shuffle all of this? I mean, I work with you now, and it's like our work days are insane.
Yeah, and so this is where I'm gonna lean on you, Jay, because
Do it.
in the world I'm in, like in my life right now, I don't think I could date somebody or be real with somebody because I get up at 5 a.m. and I'm grinding. I'm working out. I'm reading. I'm doing my own thing. Like for me at that time, from like 5 to 7, then 7 to
7.
8, 7. You know what I mean? I'm working. You know what I mean? Like, I'm working.
I know.
Like every hour is accounted for, and like you're one of the hardest working people I know, and I feel like Caitlin is too. Like you guys hustle. I mean, wine, podcasts, TV appearances, like the list goes on and on and on. What investing, running an agency, management, like it's crazy what you do, and like it's also inspiring. Like I admire the shit out of you. Like you're the one person I always tell everybody, like Jason may not have the following that I have or Peter or Colton that came from the show, but Jason's the most successful one out of all of them. I promise you. He's the hardest working one out of all of them. I promise you.
That's nice of you to say that.
If there's one person I do look up to or look to in that whole world that I came from, Bachelor Nation, it's Jason.
Wow.
That's
a nice
I
compliment.
love a hustler, man.
Because no one's worked as hard as I've seen Jason work, and no one hustles like Jason. And so I'm gonna lean on you on this one. Like,
How do we balance it?
How
all?
do you
'Cause
balance
we're-
it?
I mean, I'm in a relationship. I'm struggling with it right now. Like, work.
I love to snuggle
Yeah.
every night.
those are really, really nice things to say, and I think all the people you just mentioned like kill it in their own way. And I think there's a few things. One thing was a big wake up call for me, and 100% going to answer this, but you said a lot there, so I want to address it all. Last night when you and I were talking, I hope you don't care that I'm sharing this, but I was like, what about your legacy? What do you want? And this is addressing. I'm going to do it in order. Big logical guy. You said this is the Playboy thing. people out there should know. I said to Tyler, what do you want out of life? Like, truly. And you imagine what you've done and what you've accomplished and your network. I was expecting a whole different answer. Tyler's answer was, I want to be a father, I want to be married, and I want to be a football coach. And I was like, holy shit, that's just not what I expected. I think that people like you look a certain way, have a certain presence, and people automatically will label you as something else. But like the depth of that it woke me up. I'm like, what do I want? I'm chasing all this stuff and working every day and all the things you said and trying to make a difference and impact. And what does it matter if you're not in life at some point, a husband or a partner, if you're not leading a legacy to bring on a future generation for when you're gone, and you're not doing something you love, like be a high school football coach. Like that just, it resonated with me in a deep way. It was a good wake-up call because we go 100 miles an hour. Caitlin is extremely successful, extremely driven. I am also extremely driven. And it does definitely create a lot of happiness in certain categories, but it takes a toll in others. And it's something we're working through, like, quite frankly. And I don't have the answer. I think the golden answer would be you get enough financial independence where you can then do what you want to do, how you want to do it. Mm-hmm. But then I think what happens, if I'm being real, is it driven by financial stability and independence, or is it driven by ego?
Right.
Because the ego will never be fulfilled. We saw it today.
Yeah.
We're sitting there today, and you have huge athletes and celebrities talking about their relationships.
Yes.
Everywhere. And how X, Y, and Z isn't being a father, and this person's not being a mother, and they have more money that I will have 15 times over. So I think the thing is it ego-driven or is it financially driven? And quite frankly, the work-life balance is something, it's one of the biggest areas of improvement for me and Caitlin. Mm-hmm. But this also, we live in this, okay, another side is anyone out there, forget about Caitlin and I, you're back at home. Inflation's through the roof. The market's everywhere. Like, it's expensive to do anything. So no matter what you're doing at any employment level, you got to work right now because you can't afford it.
Amen.
Yeah.
So it's like no matter what level you're at or what you're doing or how you're doing it, whether you're Tom Brady and Giselle or you're working in any capacity at an hourly rate in any manner, it's tough right now. And it's only getting tougher given the cost of things. So I think this is an issue that's so pertinent to any person that's living right now in the year that we're living in.
Real quick, shout out to Tom Brady on this one. But if I was on Tom Brady's level, I'm sorry, I would be home with my kids and my wife.
Yeah. So what happened was Giselle, fix me if I'm wrong here, Jason, but Giselle said she wants Tom Brady to be more present with her kids.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about.
Publicly, like,
So
put it out there.
Yep. Yeah. Very important.
And that's coming from a lot of lack of attention, possibly a lot of things. And to go publicly about it, make a statement is a lot, And those are two probably very, 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 very hardworking people.
Yep.
So I think at the end of the day, like, all the fame, all the money, all that stuff, all that does is just feed your ego. But feeding your soul is like going home, raising your kids, loving on your wife, like being with your person. You know what I mean? Like, that's the shit that's always made me the happiest.
Yep.
Like I've been to the clubs, I've done the whole thing of the whole shebang. It's fun. It's more fun with y'all, I'll tell you that. But it's more fun with y'all because I love you guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's always fun doing things with people you love. And like I can go to the club in New York City with just whoever, like have a good time. But the best times I've ever had is like going out has been with you guys. Mm-hmm. I still remember like when I came off the show and you put your arm around me. It's like looking out for me. I think we were like Bounce, New York. You know what I mean? Like I still remember it. Like you put your arm around me. It was like, look, this is how like you got to navigate now. This is how you got to take care of yourself because everyone's watching. And that came out of no envy, no nothing. Like just him looking out because he just like out of nowhere, just instant love. So like after that, I was like, Jason's got me. You know what I mean? I got Jason too.
Yep.
You know?
That's a friend.
I
So
remember
so
that,
anyone,
actually, yeah.
I would like anyone to chime in. A relationship, it's a partnership, you know? It's not always 50-50. Is that okay?
I think yes, as long as like you're both putting, like, I can't always be the 70% and my significant other be the 30%. As long as, like, for example, Tuesdays, right? Those are our 12, 14-hour days. So my boyfriend knows, like, okay, he's got dinner ready for me. He picks up where I can't pick up.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as it's, like, reciprocated, I think it's okay to not be 50-50. I think it's hard to always be 50-50. We all have our certain days that we're busier than others, and sometimes one does check in on the other more.
Yeah, I also think it stems down to, again, communication. So, I mean, some guys to this day, and it's not so viewed as traditional, but they do want that mom who's going to raise the kids and be home and be around. And how do you have that conversation of you're putting in just as much time as I'm putting in the workforce? And I think, like, it's what you and your person want to do and not what everybody views as, like, you left your career to be a mom. Because to me, being a mom is one of the greatest gifts that you could ever be. And I can't wait to
Also,
be a
one of the
mom.
most important jobs there is.
Right.
And hardest
Right.
jobs.
Yes.
Hard.
Right.
Shout out to my wife.
There
for
is
real.
no turning it off.
No, never.
Yeah. So
There's no sick days being a mom.
exactly. So if you and your partner have this established to where it's like, hey, this is our routine and our lifestyle, and this is how we want to raise our kids, I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, I don't think 50-50 exists. Like,
Right.
it's just in this world, it does. It's like it's the ideal, but it's impossible.
Nope.
So as long as when you, like, we talked a little about this earlier, like when you're 10% in, they're 90%, and when they only have 10%, you're giving 90%. And I think it comes down to like appreciation and respect, because who gives a shit who you are or what you've done or the money you bring to the family, like you said, regardless of which partner is staying home. As long as you're showing appreciation and respect consistently, every day you're showing appreciation and respect. I understand, I appreciate what you're doing, I respect it.
Right.
It lives on, and I think it lives on with your kids.
Yes, it
Like
does.
when a husband, let's say to your example, when there's someone staying at home, when a husband is saying, "Have you seen what your mother has done?" and respecting her and appreciating it, that the kids are hearing that. The kids are sponges soaking that up. And the value they're putting on their mom is 4 times greater than the value they're putting on dad with a suit who brings in a couple bucks.
Right.
And I think it just comes down to those two things, respect and appreciation. And I think it's they don't really exist the way people think they or want to exist.
Right.
All right, here's another question. Because this is something that during quarantine, I was trying to navigate and figure out. If you're trying to be in a relationship with somebody and they like very ambitious, like this is me talking to you, Jay. So this is very ambitious people, you know, big names, celebrities, you know, when, for instance, during quarantine, you know, like things are popping off for me, things are popping off for Hannah, per se. You know what I mean? It's like, are we able to be happy for each other when things are going on?
Sure.
Or is there like a little bit of greed or envy, like that should be me or I should be getting that, or like they're making more money on their deal than I'm making? You know what I mean? That's all ego. You know what I mean? Because like we talked about this a little bit earlier today.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, you know, when you win, when I win, we win.
We win.
Right.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
And I feel like people struggle in relationships when you're dating a celebrity or you're dating someone else with a high status. It's like, damn, they're popping off. Why am I not popping off? Or like, damn, they're making that much money. Like, people are intimidated by what other people do and make. You know, like I see that with guys too, like in just regular corporate jobs, like dating a girl, like, damn, she makes more money than me. She's the breadwinner. I'm not. Like, they're insecure about it. Like, I can't date this girl.
Yeah.
You know, like I think I was, you know, there was times where I was like, you know, maybe intimidated. I was like, damn, like I don't know if I can keep up with her. You know what I mean? with multiple, like, some people I was just like, I was like, I ain't even touching that. You know what I mean? Just take me.
I mean, I remember.
Just take me for the ride.
I got to tell this story. You set it up. First, he already talked about how I saved his ass at bounce. I was like, dude, get over here. Wake up. Like, no, but I'll never forget this. Like, I was like, I'm doing the whole, like, I'm in the career zone J. I'm like, Ty, what's next, man? He looks at me and goes, man, I don't know. I'm just sitting here. I got no job. I think somewhere in my life, I could probably scrape together $5,000, and apparently I'm dating Gigi Hadid. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. I was like, what a wild turn of events.
Yeah, I was sleeping on Matt's beanbag and just hoping my credit card swiped. I didn't have a credit card. I had a debit card. I was still learning the world, man. I had a debit card. I was like, man, I hope this thing swipes.
I think I was like, dude, you need a couple bucks? Like, I will totally lend into this fund, so just let me know.
Secret GoFundMe.
Oh, my God. But
That's awesome.
it was, dude, I know the New York City, the sushi joint we were at. Actually, Matt came in later, and Matt wasn't even with the franchise. I just met Matt at that point. He was just doing real estate.
Right.
I'll never forget that. But I think to your point, like, it's especially in entertainment, like what you said. Entertainment, you're front and center. So it's instantly, it can become a competition, right? And if you think about it, like, we can fill each other's buckets. We could help each other. We could support each other. It thrives. And that's why I think we were eating lunch today. I was like, why is it that so many relationships in LA, it's like any celebrity, they're on there, like, if you look in like LA, big celebrities, they're on like 8 marriages. Why is that?
Right.
And I just don't think it becomes about them and not a team player thing.
They're bored.
Do you think it's? I think it's selfish. I think it's
Oh,
greed.
absolutely.
I think it's competition.
Selfish and ego, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you this, because I felt this pressure. When I came off during quarantine, I felt this pressure. Like, I was trying, by all means, to make it work with Hannah, because everyone wanted us to make it work. My mom wanted us to make it work. So, like, that's why she was back there. So I felt all this pressure to make it work. And that pressure scared me. I was like, there's so much pressure, like, I just couldn't do it. You know what I mean? And, like, I was just trying to build a friendship, to build a foundation, to maybe hopefully get to a relationship. And the pressure that was happening with that, like, it just I couldn't do it,
I also think you needed to, like, low-key heal from all of that too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think the timing was awful.
I was just going to say it was timing, I think, personally.
well, you guys, like, went through a breakup and then you had a loss, and it was a lot.
Yeah.
Did you get all your answers you needed to during the whole quarantine crew thing?
I think I got the answers that I needed, but I think it wasn't a fair way to learn about each other.
Is there any world, looking back, being like the, hindsight 2020, any world in which Hannah Brown and Tyler Cameron could be together today?
No. And I mean that with, like, out of respect and love for her, because I want her to be successful and happy, and she's in an amazing relationship, it looks like. But no, I just like we just didn't work. We weren't the same, like, we weren't on the same wavelength. Like, we didn't mesh, And but like that's life. That's so many relationships that we're in. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. But, like, she taught me a lot. She made me better, and I learned from it, And, like she's gonna be a great wife, husband. She's gonna be a great wife, mother. That's the wine.
Or the tequila.
That was the shotgun.
She's gonna be the shotgun. She's gonna be a great wife and mother. But there's no world where she's gonna be so much better without me. You know what I mean? And so, like, I wish her that.
Well, maybe you weren't ready for her yet. Maybe Tyler at 29.
No. So back to Jason.
Okay.
A positive spin on this.
Yeah.
I'll take a positive spin.
Get it.
But
I think we talked about cheating, and then you can ask me anything. I'll take any question, because I know I'm kind of like, but I think we talked about cheating, talked about that. I think the more, like, I know this is, like, too super analytical, but the more information you get early on, like, the better off. Like,
of course.
how amazing is it that you know that? How amazing, as fucked up as it is, you got cheated on, that you now have your answer.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that's in life.
Yeah.
Like you're searching for all the information to like
said,
make
Jay.
yourself better.
Right.
Yeah, I think every past relationship is just like one step closer, right? Like your goal is to not date the same because it didn't work. So as long as you're growing and learning from it, then no harm, no foul.
All right, Jay, hot seat now.
Let's go. I gave,
Hot seat
I
now,
gave it
Jay.
to you. I'll take it.
Okay. So, do you feel pressure because the Bachelorette world, everything is sped up, right? You're supposed to get engaged with somebody in 2 months of dating, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like even now, how I feel in relationships, everything is sped up the way I look at relationships because of that. It fucked with my head.
Sure.
Do you feel pressure because you're dating somebody in that world and now engaged with somebody in that world to keep moving the ball along quick?
Here's my answer to that. And it's a really good question. When I first got off the show and I was introduced to this crazy world, I felt so much pressure I could collapse just by the world, by not even my dating life. Everything I did, I was drinking the wrong wine, I was walking the wrong way, everything I did, I felt pressure, and then I quickly realized, as fast as this world is, at the end of the day, all these people creating pressure, it's just entertainment. They don't give a fuck. Nobody really right? Like nobody gives a shit. And tomorrow, it's a new story.
Yep.
And then the next day, it's a next story. And then there's a new season, a new Bachelorette, and all that. And once I got to learn, like, all you could do is just live your life the way you're supposed to live it. Write your story the way you're supposed to write it and not let this influence impact you. It's like the more sound I became. And so I felt that pressure early on. Now, especially when you talk about like all the big next steps in life, no. Like this is my story. This is Caitlin's story. This is our story.
That's empowering.
And it's going to be done our way. And everyone is going to, every day we're going to get asked the questions we're asked. And then based on our answers, there's going to be a ton of speculation and that won't change. And we're going to do it our way, the way that makes sense.
And anything you
And
say can
that's
always
it.
get spun and twisted and
And
turned.
you can't do anything right. So if you're so fearful of the pressure in anything, your professional life, your work life, your relationship, you're going to break. You have to do it your way. And like my whole saying is like, break the blueprint. Do it your way because you can never, ever live up to the expectations that the world has created unless you just do it your way.
I love that. At the end of the day, just be you.
Just be you.
Just be you.
Like, fuck the noise. Sorry for some.
Nah, fuck it.
No, you're good.
I
All
love
right,
it.
that was a good segment.
That was.
Let's break this thing up with a little song. Grab a drink. Grab your friend. Get them to listen. God damn it.
We're doing some call-ins when we get back,
We're doing
so
some
get ready.
call-ins. Here's a little fun.
Let's go, guys.
So Miss Dilly, Katie's mom, she goes, I just hit the clap button randomly throughout the show the whole time. So
My mom,
it's Katie's
Oh,
mom.
there's a clap. I like the
clap.
clap.
Clap, clap.
It's positive.
Look,
Oh,
see,
we
look,
got
look.
to come.
getting more.
Yes, more claps, more likes. More
Clap on,
claps,
clap
more
off.
likes.
my mom
love.
listened to our one about Never Have I Ever, and now she like still wants us to have a listener, so she just turns it all the way down because she doesn't want to hear Tyler being naughty.
I got that side of me. All right.
I've gotten those conversations from my mom too.
All right. So next question for you guys. All right, no. Let's go Jay on the hot seat.
Here we go.
You're the guest, so why not?
guest.
People are here. We got a record number because people are here for you.
Let's go. Oh yeah, right. They're
Yeah,
here for
people
you.
are here
They're
for
all
you.
wondering why you're still single.
If they could see your abs right now, they'd be, you know. All right, Jay.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So I was on the boat, not too long ago, and I was with an older gentleman, and he was dating a lot younger girl, and and this is going to be about power dynamics,
Okay.
right? And his whole power dynamic was like, if I'm out of town, like, what are you doing? And she's like, he's like, you get to make a decision. You going out with your friends, or are you chilling? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he didn't want her going out,
Oof.
you know? And like the power dynamic was like, you do as I say, you do and listen, you know? And so what is that? What is your power dynamic? Because I don't think that's healthy.
It's
Definitely not healthy.
It is wildly toxic.
Yep.
It's wildly controlling and extremely unhealthy.
Yeah.
Right? Like in my, and I'll answer the question, but again, I got to address that in my relationship. Go out. Like if your partner doesn't have a good group of friends, I think that's like an indication of them as a person. I was always taught to have great friends. It first takes being a great friend. Like, so that, I mean, that. But the whole power dynamic of that, I mean, that's just, I don't know. Is that what your question is? Like, I think that's fucked. That's, I can't swear. That's messed up.
You can say fuck.
All
Fuck. So what
Truly messed up.
What is, or if there is a power dynamic between you and Caitlin, what is it?
What is the power dynamic?
Is there one? Or what, if there is, what is it?
I think like right now, the only power dynamic, which is not leveraged at all by her, but if I'm being fully honest, when I lost my job, right? So I lost my job. If you guys don't know the story, I knew I wanted to leave.
Okay.
It was part of the process to leave. But Caitlin and I were live on a podcast. On her podcast, Off the Vine, she tells a fun confession about the first time we hooked up. It hit It hit all the headlines. And my boss calls me.
My boy, a freak.
Uh-oh.
It gets crazy. My boss calls me and goes, "Hey, did you Google yourself this morning?" Said to him, "No, I don't wake up and Google myself."
Katie does.
Next.
My ego's not that big.
And he said to me, he said, "We're expecting you to come in and resign today after 10 years. Relocate, every single annual review met or exceeded expectations, relocated for the company, all this stuff. I'm supposed to resign?" Yeah. Did you see what happened? So they took this, the story she tells out of context.
Right.
And it was a PR thing. And they just were like, it's a bad look. So I ended up, the company and I met in the middle. And I ended up leaving. And I moved into Caitlin's house. Right. So I was in Seattle and we talked like, should we do Seattle? Should we do Nashville? What should we do? And the idea was like, we'll live in Nashville for 6 months to a year and figure it out. And I moved into her house. Well, 3.5 years later, COVID, all this craziness, we're out of Nashville more than we are in Nashville. And I think if there's any power dynamic, it's that I moved into her house. She owns it. It's her property. Whenever she does like something, I like even like renovations and stuff, I take a back seat. It's totally everything you want to do. I support what you want to do.
Right.
This is your home.
Hey, being in construction, that's a good thing to do, brother.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it. Like, this is
Happy
your
wife,
spot.
happy life.
What can I do to help? Right. So I think that like if there's any type of power dynamic, it's just that like I'm in. This is not our home. This is your home. Right. So like your rules, your whatever you want. Like that's probably the biggest power shift.
Do you always feel supported?
I feel like, yeah. I mean, so Caitlin, this world is a crazy world, right? And she was in this world before I was in this world. So I think there are certain and I think just based on just like the whole dynamic of it, there's so many moving parts. And I think what's really important is like having rules, like what isn't acceptable, how you work around those, how you manage those. And the only way to like come up with these rules is like talk through them. And I think through like some of the guidelines we set out, I was like maybe at times like a little surprised, but I'd be like, oh, wow, I never even thought about that. Like that's a whole different dynamic, but so is the whole world we live in. So I feel like Caitlin totally supports like everything that I do from educational standpoint, career standpoint, like finance standpoint, etc. And then there are sometimes, of course, like always, we'll run into those internal relationship discussions.
Yep. Which are important to have.
Which are really
they
important
are.
to have.
Yeah.
They are.
Right?
Communicating.
Yeah.
Do you feel okay? So you're engaged now.
Mm-hmm.
When do you guys start talking about financial situations together?
Well, dude, I'm the finance guy.
Yeah.
We talk about that all the time, right? So like, she knows my credit score. I know her credit score. She knows my financial, like what's coming in. I know what she's got going in. We have a joint account. We both contribute to the joint account. We use it for certain like X, Y, and Z. I help her with her finances. Like she asks for help. What's that?
Sex store?
Sex store. Oh man.
Y'all buying toys in that
It's
count?
unbelievable. I'll tell you what, like in this world, like packages just show up at our house. It's just like an influencer.
Does she get
like,
sex toys?
Do you know the amount of sex toys that come to our house? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't get those yet.
Wait, because like all the like.
Do you
it's-
use them?
We don't.
Do you use?
I think she did like one brand deal, and then all of a sudden we get all these sex toys, or people will pitch and be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
you got
me
to
and
try
Dominic
it,"
epic.
and like all these things come.
So
up.
we need to sign Tyler up to some sex toys.
Yeah.
Hashtag
must.
no ad. What's your favorite sex toy that y'all use?
Did I say we use them? I said they show up at our house. I said they show up at our house.
They're just decorations.
They're
Right.
decorations. Jeez.
Sorry,
Put 'em in a
sorry.
box and don't
Have y'all
touch
used
it.
sex toys?
No, I'll tell you why.
Why? Yeah.
Here's the business.
Thank you for
in me.
saving me.
The reason that you got these CBD sex oils, you got these sex toys, you got them all is because not many people are willing to promote them. So if you do promote them, like people out there, if you're seeing that stuff, people are paying a premium to promote those
them.
because they're so off the edge.
Yeah.
So I think
What's
you
the
know,
craziest toy y'all got sent to you?
the craziest toy. Oh man.
Let's
Fine,
go.
they
That's
don't use
hilarious.
any, but hey,
Wait, you
what's
know,
the craziest toy?
So I'm blanking on what they're called. I mean, listen, there's been a lot of random shit that's been sent our way, but you know it's like the light thing, like
The flashlight?
yeah. Okay,
Yeah, I know what a flashlight is.
wait. Say this is the
I never
best
used
part.
it.
Do you know what it is?
She when the whole flashlight got, she like that was flashlight.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
Hey, do you know what that's for? And like her face when I told her was unbelievable.
So
She's
you
like,
got a flashlight sent to you?
people do that? I'm like, hell yeah.
So you got a flashlight sent to you?
Dude, I'm telling you, it's
I never got a flashlight sent to me,
I'm
Jason.
not kidding you. If you go to our garage, it's just random boxes. Like Kaylin and I yell at like who sent it.
So you have a garage full of sex
Converse-
toys?
No.
So
Those
are you
thrown
known
out.
as a freak? Is
No.
that where it's going?
It's just that when you live in a household with two people always promoting shit online or the podcast, people just say, "Oh, wait, this is how crazy it is." Not even the sex toys. The amount of wedding invites we get. We throw them out every week. At least 8 wedding
random
invites
people?
from random people. Like
Yeah.
I don't know when Caitlin leaked her address or how it got leaked, but
Wow.
there are wedding invites nonstop. So the other day, Caitlin is out. I forgot she's traveling somewhere, and a wedding invite comes. I'm like, here we go, because I think it's like kind of fun. Caitlin's like, throw it out, you know. I open it, and there's this like really like sweet letter about Caitlin. Like, you changed my life. You inspired me. Like, there's so many times I was down and out, and because of listening to you, I'm now where I am. I'm now living my dream. I'm now getting married. And I was like, I'm like
Wow.
reading this, getting emotional. And typically, like if I see that, I know she would want me to throw it out. I'm like, no. I took a thumbtack and I put it right on her desk when she got home. And when I left, like 7 days later, it was still there. Like clearly it resonated with her.
That's beautiful. I would actually go to the weddings though.
I was just
I
going
know,
to
that's
say,
what
so
I'm
this
thinking.
means
I like weddings, bro.
Yeah, right. This guy's already busy enough as it is.
Yeah.
Can we get a wedding to go to as a
Can
group?
we all go?
Come on.
That's how
Wedding
Yeah, all right. If
crashes.
anyone's getting married on this episode and y'all listening, let us know. We'll all crash it.
We want to come to your wedding because
Yeah.
I love that movie, by the
All
way.
right, what is y'all's? Have y'all ever used a sex toy? If so, what's your favorite one?
Go, Dominique.
I can't name.
Come and talk to me.
Can't name it, but you can tell me what it is.
Watch your mouth.
Yeah, what you mean?
You know you got that rabbit. But
What?
did I say that out loud?
Oh, Mr. Sex
you
Toy!
What was that?
What's a
You
rabbit?
did not.
I don't know. I'm just
I've had
shouting
a
out
lot.
things.
I've had grasshopper sent to me, but no rabbit. I'm just kidding. I don't even know what a rabbit is.
No, I will say that one of my friend's birthday parties recently, she had a sex toy party for her girlfriend. So this lady came and sold us like all different
Like a
types
trunk
of
party
toys.
for sex toys?
Yes.
That is so fun.
I'm just curious. Like, gotta go to the money thing. What is she selling an average sex toy for?
Oh my God, it's outrageous.
Like, how much?
Like I think the highest one was $250.
$250 for.
I'm
what
like,
does
this
it do?
thing better do 7 different things.
I'm gonna start selling sex toys.
$250.
Yeah, I'm like, this is crazy. But she got a shit ton of sales from it.
Nice.
Isn't there a thing where you can get like replicas? Of
Like I feel like anything, like
someone's-
Amazon, you go on and search
Tyler,
for something.
this is crazy. Okay, we are all in committed relationships.
Yeah.
The only person who's probably using a
the
ton
only
of them.
guy that's probably coming across the craziest stories and or sex devices and or toys has got to be you.
I argue this though. Like when you're in a relationship, you got to find things to change it up. Am I right or am I wrong?
You are
Like you get more
right.
comfortable to use things.
Yeah.
When you are single, though, you're exploring every territory.
Everything.
Right.
What is the craziest territory you've explored in the last year?
Uh-oh.
In the last year.
I'm just like, this is like, I'm getting them back. You know, hot seat.
We're here for it. We
Yeah,
usually do
please.
it. So.
Craziest
love
thing I
it.
explored.
This is fun.
Yeah, put him right back on it.
Missionary.
Oh, you're so fucking guy.
Kate almost spit her wine out. I think she did spit her wine out.
Craziest experience or sex toy?
Come on, T.
I haven't used a sex toy in a long time, but I have some good stories though.
What's like the? I don't know. What's like?
I mean, I
what's
told-
your
I-
exploration world look like?
Exploration world. Been a lot
I
of.
feel like this has turned into the Howard Stern show.
Me too.
I've been a lot of places.
Oh Jesus! That's where you gotta stop.
I've been a lot of
No, like,
places.
I meant like I tried things, you know. Sex.
Sounds like he just needs your fleshlight, honestly.
You need me to get
Just pass me the fleshlight.
Have you ever dealt with someone that has a foot fetish?
No,
What's the weirdest
trying to think of a
fetish you've
fetish.
come across?
I've crossed. Besides missionary, I don't know. I haven't explored a lot of things, guys.
Tyler.
I'm kidding. God damn it.
So
I was
we
gonna say
found
my
out-
book. My
okay.
book is coming out sooner than expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I haven't experienced a sex toy in a while. You know, I think for me, sex toys have always come out when I'm in a relationship with somebody,
Right.
And we're just like trying to find ways to explore and like make things fun or different. Yeah, this girl brought out a vibrator. I mean, but like that's
For you or for her?
for her.
All right, I've talked with Caitlin on her podcast about this. What's your take on role play? Have you ever done it?
I love role play.
What's like
Problem
the
is, I get too
craziest?
damn excited.
What's the craziest role you've played?
Well, I don't think I've really played any real roles, but I guess role play is the wrong way to take it. I guess foreplay. Like I
You're
love.
talking foreplay.
Yeah.
Role play.
Do you know what role play is?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about role plays on a previous one, and Tyler said that if
I've never
didn't you
done
say
it.
like Luke Skywalker?
Oh,
No, you have to retell the
Alright, Jason.
story. You have to retell the story.
here's a story, Jason.
fucking
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker.
I'm a freshman. I'm a freshman in college.
Oh my God! Was she Darth Vader?
No. She was what's her name? Annika?
Isn't that the
Annika
father?
Skywalker?
Yeah, I don't know. Weird Star Wars shit.
No, what was the girl? Leia.
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 She was
Leia.
my
Double
Leia and I was
buns.
her Anakin. And and so we're hooking up or whatever. We're getting ready to have sex. And it's dark in there, right? And she's like, wait, put a condom on here. And she's like, here, put this one on. So I was like, all right, open the condom, put it on.
Clone.
Jason, the next thing, all of a sudden, Jason,
I know where this is going.
my dick is glow in the dark. I'm over here like this, Jason. I'm making noises. I'm over here. Like, I'm thrusting it. I'm throwing it around.
Oh my God.
For 5 minutes, I was having foreplay with myself.
When you took the words out of my mouth, because what I was thinking, I'm like, if you had like a glow in the dark piece, I feel like you would just play with yourself.
Yeah, that's what I was
Like, you'd
doing.
be
I was
playing
just
Star
over here
Wars.
swinging this thing around, doing the helicopter and all those fun things.
Oh,
I want to order some. I don't even use condoms.
Amber's gonna come in the house and Phil's gonna be in the door. Like this, and like, whoa.
Your Darth Vader has arrived.
I see what you did.
All right. That's a wrap, yo.
I'm gonna call you.
I'm gonna do this
Luke
right now.
Skywalker
I'm gonna do
the
this
rest
right
of the
now.
trip.
I'm gonna enable call-ins for those who got sex toy stories. So if you got a sex toy story, call us right now. I want to hear it.
Let's go. I want to hear some callers.
Every week we look.
Come and talk to me.
Here's one called Peach Queen. We've had her on before. If she's quick to call, let's hear what she's got to say.
Peach Queen.
You got the name Peach Queen. You talk about your butt. Talking about your butt.
Peaches and cream.
Peach Queen.
Hey guys.
From Seattle. I remember that.
Hi.
How are you guys doing?
I'm good.
We
How
are
are you?
good. What's going on?
Good. I'm in Vegas right now, so it's been a good time.
There you go.
Love that.
So, do you got a sex toy story for us?
I do.
Ooh.
Oh, let's hear it. Give us the dirt.
Okay, so funny enough, I was traveling down in like San Francisco area, and there's this guy that I DM'd on Instagram, and I ended up going over to his house. Hottest guy I've ever looked over in my life.
Love that for you.
Anyways.
High five.
Anyways, so I ended up staying for like a couple days, and one of the nights he was like, oh, I have like tie downs on my bed, and I was like, okay. So one night he came home from work and he was like, go to the bedroom, and I was like, okay. Anyways, so long story short, he ended up tying me up, and he ended up using vibrators, and oh my god, I can't believe I'm telling you guys.
We know what
We're
Phil
here
likes
for it.
now.
Yo, this is great.
Wow, my life is so boring.
Anyways, that was one story. I was like, I have one more if you guys want it. But
Yeah. Is it
Hit
juicier?
us with it.
I see this app right now, and there's a lot of like hands that can clap, and there's a lot of hands clapping after that.
There,
We support it.
make him clap.
hey, awesome. I mean, hey, I'm always up for trying new things. I'm definitely a very sexual person, so I'm always up for trying things. But yeah, I mean, I have like one more. I was dating this guy, and he ended up. Have you ever heard of I don't even know what it's called, but it's like a Wii Vibe or something. It like, it's a vibrator, but like the guy can control it.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
wanted to get one of
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
let's
those. I
go.
was like, nice. I'm like, I want one.
Kind of like remote control underwear.
Yeah.
Wait, that's
What?
a thing?
That's a
Yes.
thing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I have
Oh,
a video. I have to
yeah,
show it
guys.
off. I
Isn't
saw
there
on
a
TikTok.
movie where there's a scene with that?
50
There-
Shades.
Yeah.
There
50
is.
Shades.
Yes, there we go. I'm losing my mind.
So
How'd-
you were
how'd that
living
work out
your
for you?
50 Shades of Grey life.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I love it. This is
I'm
awesome.
trying to find my Mr. Gray.
So what happened when he got hit with the button, the zap button?
Oh God. Well, like he can control it, so we just like went to dinner, and he like turned it on while we had dinner, and I like didn't like I was like literally like food in mouth, and he turned it on, and I was just like, oh Lord, like stopped chewing, held my breath, and just like gripped the table a little bit.
Ooh,
Wow.
Oh.
All right, Jason. I got something for you.
damn.
Bring it on.
When you go home, I want you to buy these panties and surprise Caitlin with them. And I need you to make a
Yes.
TikTok video and go viral real quick of Caitlin's reactions.
Well, since I already got
this.
fired from my job, why
Yeah.
not?
Why not?
Yeah, so
Tell
I'll
you
keep it
what.
going.
Or he's going to get the glow in the dark condoms.
Peach Queen, that is awesome.
amazing.
That is
Love
unreal.
it.
Thank you so
Congratulations,
much.
Peach
Keep being
Queen.
curious. Keep having fun.
Jake,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Keep being you.
All right, y'all. That's a wrap for the show today. Jason, thank you so much for coming on, brother.
Oh my God,
My
it's so
first
good
guest.
to be here. What a blast.
You got this thing popping, man. It was a great time. Everyone loved it. Thank you so much,
This
brother.
is Howard Stern 2.0.
Howard Stern 2.0.
I'm never coming back.
I'll have to do 5 training sequences before I can come back.
Yeah, I'll
on.
need everything.
Yeah. Well, hey, whatever you want, Jason. Whatever you want, brother.
I love it.
Love it, brother.
Let's go.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you all for listening. Make sure you tune in next week, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Katie, what's the topic?
Intimacy.
Ooh.
Love it.
Perfect transition.
Spicy.
All right. That's it, y'all. See y'all.